Good morning, Valentina. I can't hear you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, way better, way better. How are you this morning?
I'm good. I think I have a bit of flu.
Huh.
Are you all good in Bordeaux?
I think so. I have a sniffly nose, but I think I started being allergic to Atos, which is not cool.
What?
Yeah. just a little bit. It comes too close, my nose starts running. But I think other than that, everyone is okay as far as I know. So I'm just setting up the
No worries.
other computer. Are you back tomorrow?
No, I'm going to Naples.
Oh, straight away.
Yeah, we're leaving tonight.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That's a change of plan.
No, we planned, when was it? Friday, yeah. We still didn't have booked any place to stay. Last minute. But I can't wait to go. I love Naples.
Great. Thanks for the paper. Good morning, Michelle.
Hello.
Morning.
Hang on, I can't hear you anymore. Can you still hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
You don't?
Weird. Okay. Well, let's wait one more minute because we're less people than usual today. There should be some more. In fact, there should be 7 students tuning in.
Oh, from the course?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Here we go. Saxophone intro. Not today. I guess it's an intimate setting today. Did we miss something? Is there bank holiday or something?
Not that I know.
Okay. Good morning, Evie.
Good morning.
Right. Well, it's just us, it seems. So, Valentina, you know how it works. Just take it away, share your screen, and tell us about your exciting science.
Oh, wait. Oopsie. Oh, this is new. Oh, yeah. Okay. Found it. Sorry.
No
Looks
worries.
like it's the first time I share my screen from this computer because he is asking me for more
Permissions.
Yeah.
The new Mac security.
Yeah, I'm trying. Can you share the link that I shared on the chat? So you share your screen with the paper.
Oh, yes. Hang on. Let me download it and open.
He's asking me to leave the meeting, so no, let's not go for it.
Okay. Let me share the screen for you. And then let's make it full screen. Voila. You just need to tell me when to advance.
Sure. Let's to the to the pictures, the figures, so it's easier for you. So this is a very interesting paper on a single case. Specifically, these authors documented a first case, a single case of progressive macrographia, specifically linked to block letter writing. So there's actually another case of progressive macrographia, but it's been documented in 1923, I guess. So this is really, really rare. Progressive macrographia is under the peripheral graphia deficits. Specifically, it's not related to a language problem, but to a more executive problem deficit. And it's so it manifests as an increase in size while writing both in cursive or in block writing. And it's usually the opposite deficit is micrographia, that is usually found in Parkinson's patients, which is decreasing in size of the writing. We're talking about handwriting, of course. So usually macrographia is presented with like a constant pattern. So everything is increased in size. While in this case, we have a progressive increase. And so the patient start writing in a one size, and then progressively the size of the writing increases. Yeah, can you stick with this picture, please, Steffi? So this figure here shows many images acquired with different techniques and of the patient. The patient is a 75 years old lady who entered the hospital with spatial. So she was lost in space, or she had a I don't know, she was like she wasn't able to start a conversation. She was so they noted the relatives noticed a changing behavior, and when they look for the MRI, as we can see on the top bit of this figure, it's a T1, and then we have the flare, and then the CT scan, and then the PET. We can see those changes in the image. It's a brain tumor. So the brain tumor is localized on the right hemisphere because the image is flipped. In the right hemisphere, and bilaterally frontally bilateral locations. And in particular, it affects the deep white matter of the frontal parietal regions and temporal cortex, and inferior frontal gyrus, and the fornix, I think. No, the forceps major, sorry, minor. So causing a bilateral lesion. And this is constant in all the imaging. And we see the PET image at the last row, yeah, of the figure. Thank you, Steph. We see hyper metabolism in the same regions as evidenced by the MRI and the CT scan, and also a hypometabolism on the frontal regions, and also in the temporal polar cortices, if I'm not wrong. So interestingly, this patient presented with micrographia only for a caps lock letter, when asked to write caps lock letter. But she went through a very in-depth neuropsychological assessment that looked for many cognitive domains, from spatial attention, executive functions, memory, and importantly, language functions. And if you can scroll, yeah, a bit more. So, okay. So this is the test for visuospatial motor functioning. The patient was asked to copy those images, and we can see that even though the copy of simple figures like the circle or the triangle is paired, the copy of more complex figures with more details is impaired, and we can see a very peculiar pattern, because there is so the patients presented with spatial neglect. And as we can see from the cube, for instance, some details in the left part are missing, and also in the ray figure on the right, the complex figure, some details from the left part of the figure are missing, but also there are missing also some details in the upper part of the figures. For instance, the whole upper part of the cube and the whole upper part of the flower in the upper right corner of the figure. And she also presented with a visual search impairment. Can you scroll down? Thank you. Okay, she also presented with visual search impairment. It's very clear from the line cancellation task, the A figure we can see here. As you can see, there is no line cancelled on the left part. Same with the other tasks. For instance, she was asked to cancel all the full circles on the C panel, and she did so only for the circles on the right part of the space. And there are also a few commission errors, such as she crossed some open circle that she was instructed to avoid. And it's the same for the bell cancelling task, where she had to cancel the bells among other images, the section, or the E section, where she had to cancel all the big star, I think. Yeah. Among the small stars and the letters. And other than the pattern of attraction toward the right side of the image, the authors noticed also this pattern of attraction of the right lower side of the figure of the object. So this pattern of neglect of the upper part of the figure is constant, and they managed to extract a Z-score for this for computing in a quantitatively way these deficits, because these tasks don't take into account this difference from the upper part and the lower part of the figure. However, her language functions were almost spared. She had some anomia impairment. Go a bit lower. Thank you. Okay, see, yeah, as you can see here, she presented with the spatial neglect and executive functioning, such as working memory impairment, but the language functions, as we can see from the NPA scores are almost normal. So they tested her writing skills. Can you go to figure 4? It's, yeah, thank you. Okay, no, down. So we can see the writing, yeah, which is very interesting. So in this task, the patient was in the A panel, was required to write under dictation, both meaningful word and non-meaningful words. And when she's asked to write a meaningful word after non-meaningful word, the pattern of macrographia is not present. And it's the same in the B panel, where she has to write a meaningful word, but this B part, so when she's asked to write a meaningful word, comes soon after the non-meaningful word task. So she started well with a normal pattern, and then further in time during the task, she started to show the macrographia pattern. And it's and as you can see, the macrographia starts and then continue as with an attraction toward the lower right part of the space, the writing of the word. And the macrographia pattern is even more evident in the C panel, where she's asked to write sentences, long sentences, all in block. And while the macrographia pattern is not present when she's asked to write sentences in cursive, and when she's asked to write numbers. Okay, so, and this is after dictation. And the pattern of macrographia is present also when she's asked to copy words. Can you go lower? Okay. Okay, here. So here in this task, she's asked to copy letters, both in cursive and in block. And as you can see, the macrographia appears when she's asked to copy block words, not block letters. And to better quantify this pattern of macrographia, the authors recruited a control to see whether there is an actual difference in the distortion of the letters, making them bigger and with attraction toward the left down bottom part of the space. And if you go lower, we can show the differences between even more. Okay, here. And yeah, and here they computed a score that allowed to calculate the correlation of the increasing in size of the words. And as you can see, there is a clear correlation with respect of each letter. And for the patient, while there is no correlation for the normal control. So the conclusion, the discussion that the authors make on this interesting case is that even though in the literature has been shown cases of macrographia after cerebellar lesion, here there is no sign of deficit in the cerebellar cortex, but it's only cerebral. So macrographia might be secondary to other cognitive deficits, such as the spatial neglect that causes this attraction toward the left down part of the space, and and also a working memory, executive function impairment that does not allow the patient to take as a reference in size of the previous letters, but only taking as a reference the immediate preceding one, and so causing this pattern of non-continuously size. And also the anatomical evidence support this claim, because they find only a lesion in the right hemisphere in areas that has been associated with spatial attention and working memory and executive functions. So I was really amazed by this case, and it's really specific, really peculiar, really quirky. Sorry.
Thank you, Valentina. Super interesting case report. Any questions from the team? No, not yet. So you mentioned it's a rare condition. I was wondering if you had the numbers of how rare that is.
No, but maybe they mentioned something in the intro. If you can go up. I'm so sorry
yes,
about
sorry.
this. I don't know.
Hang on, where am I going?
Up.
Like abstract up or
introduction up.
Introduction up.
It's short, so it must be there. Maybe I evidenced, highlighted something. No, I don't think there are numbers. So okay. No, there are not numbers. But there's only one similar case in the literature, because the other cases documented continuous macrographia, so without the pattern of increasing in size, going further in the writing of the word.
Okay. And the other case, or generally cases like this, they're not necessarily only confined to capital letters, right? It could also be.
It could also,
smaller,
it could also
and
be.
you just write them bigger. Okay.
Yeah.
So is there any theory why it's selectively the capital letters?
Yeah, they think it's because capital letters are more difficult to write in a way that we usually use the cursive to write notes and in our everyday life, especially in Italian, because the patient was Italian. And so they think that it's because she didn't have, so she had deficits in working memory, okay? So she didn't have really like the energizing capacity to keep their attention up. And so it's more difficult to write in caps lock, and she couldn't manage to stick with the task when writing in caps lock. While the cursive is more procedural memory, so it's more automatic, implicit, and there is no need to use attention and working memory in this case.
Okay. And are there specific tests for it, or is it just a matter of designing your own tests ad hoc?
What do you mean?
Like, is there if you suspect, I mean, it's quite obvious once your patient writes, I guess, but are there dedicated tests specific for this clinical presentation, or is it just a matter of using other tests like Langlois tests where you have a writing component and just
I don't know. So in one part of their assessment, they ask the patient to write to describe figures that are in a language assessment test, the AAT. I don't know if you know it.
Okay.
Anyway, there are figures, and the patient was asked to describe, writing sentences describing these figures. I think they rely on testing, like neuropsychological testing for writing, because when in the dictation test they specified that there were words and sentences both from the test and from spontaneous speech of the examiner. So I guess I don't remember now in detail, but I guess there are tests for this.
Great. Thank
you.
Well,
Macrographia is really common in Parkinson's, so I'd say yes there.
Any other questions?
This case was also really interesting because they mentioned just one sentence, but I was so more curious about it. She was anosognotic about her deficit. Yeah. They say she was mostly anosognotic, but they just dropped the sentence there. And I was like, oh, I want to know more.
Well, I'm sure you can go back to them and ask for more detail.
That's so unfortunate because in the limitations, they say that she had a very quick change in behavior, unfortunately, so she was testable anymore in a really brief amount of time.
You also mentioned that this is a tumor patient, right?
Yeah.
So which stage of that tumor development was the patient when she was tested?
They say it was malignant, but they don't mention the stage.
Okay.
Well, at least as far as I remember.
Okay. Gonna dig into it a bit more. Very, very interesting. I don't see any other questions.
Just to follow up about the patient, so they don't plan to operate or do something about it?
Sorry?
So about the tumor, do they think about operating something or to remove
the tumor? They don't say it. I don't know. I don't know. It was really, I mean, it was really, the lesions were really scattered. So I don't know.
I don't know neither.
I actually have a question for you from YouTube, which I just saw, given that I stopped sharing the screen. So if the patient is attracted to the lower part of the space, then why did the patient miss details only in the lower part during copying of the complex figure?
Can you go back to the copy of the figure?
Yeah, hang on. I just
because I remember it misses details in the left part and also the upper part. But I think that the copy in the lower bottom right part, it's okay.
Let me share the screen with you. Can you see it okay?
Yeah.
Here we go. So this is the complex figure that we were talking about.
So it misses the cross in the bottom part. Yeah, I mean the complex figure, it depends on the type of neglect, I guess, on the type of attention she engages in the figure, because that could be considered left part of the space. I'm just guessing. I'm just guessing.
But it's hard to tell if you haven't seen the patient, right?
Yeah.
But there's clearly like the box is missing completely.
Yeah, but
the cross is missing, but the
same box is clearly on the left part of the space.
Yeah.
Giving the center of the figure is the two blocks with the circle in it. If we take that as center reference, it's the left part, it's less detailed.
By far, yeah.
Mm.
Okay, I hope that addresses
Thanks for the question.
question. It's no follow-up question just yet. But I know who wrote the comment, so if there's more question, I'm happy to connect you to. Great. Super interesting case report. Thank you so much. Any volunteers for next week?
I'm not here, so.
Oh, how convenient. That's all right. We'll find someone. Well, thanks for coming this morning. Have an exciting week in science, and we see you next Monday. Bye.